Hello agents, welcome back to my headquarters. My name is Prakilski and today I'm going to have a review on episode 13 of NINJAGO Crystalized, a Sinister shadow. In this video, I will talk about something I noticed in this episode, something I enjoy, as well as something I think it can be improved in this episode. Then in the end of this video, I will make a score out of 10 for this episode. A quick little disclaimer, this video will contain a lot of spoilers of the latest season as well as my opinions on the episodes, so please make sure to keep that in mind. As always, if you enjoy watching this video, please give me a thumbs up under this video, it will mean a lot to me. If you are one of the new recruits, please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell below for more videos and news coming up on this channel. And without further ado, let's get right into it. The episode kickstarts with the dialogue of Harumi telling her life story why she chose to get on her revenge to the ninja, or more specifically to Lloyd, as well as the event after her presumable death, like how the Overlord resurrected her through the crystals. Although the style of introducing her story is something we have never had before, I still think the reason why she chose to get on her revenge on Lloyd should not be mentioned in the episode, because this is something being mentioned over and over again, something we all know about. Even if there are new fans to the show, all we have to know is the ninja have done something wrong to Harumi and she's here to get on her revenge. The story of how she became the Quiet One or the Princess of Ninjago should not be mentioned for at least this part of the season's plot. I do think this part is a bit draggy considering there are more to cover in the later episodes. Anyway, moving on, Harumi got resurrected by the crystals of the Crystal King, and before she woke up in Ninjago, she got this conversation with the Overlord in the departed realm. In this scene, we can see a newer spirit version of the Overlord. In comparative with the last time we see him in Rise of the Green Ninja in 2013, I think, you can see the differences of him and how the animation have changed during these 10 years of Ninjago. I mean, look at them. It looks amazing. Anyway, following the guidance of the Overlord, Harumi went to the Oni Temple and activated the lair of the Overlord. The Crystal King then revealed himself of who he is, the titles and names he known as, the Golden Master, the Overlord, and so on. Then there is this conversation between Harumi and the Overlord of whether she should join the force of him and of the definitions of bringing peace to Ninjago. Interesting thing about Ninjago is, it never mentioned anything about evil. It doesn't bring out the idea of evil in the story. Though there are something like darkness, destruction, or onis, they have never been told to be something evil, something bad. How this quote destruction comes from the eternal struggle between light and darkness further brings back to one of the main ideas of the show, that darkness doesn't mean evil, it is not equal to evil. The main idea of this show is never about the fight between good and evil, but the balance between light and darkness. I quite like how the production team brings back this particular main idea to the show to reinstate the core of the show. After accepting the Overlord's offer, Harumi helped the Overlord to build an army using Fangstone. Then we get to see the process of how Harumi buys Fangstone from Vangelis and from Mr. Mina respectively through this monologue from Harumi to Lloyd, to explain her master plan and the motive of her buying Fangstone. I actually quite like how they put something happened in Master of the Mountains and Seabound into this season. It links up everything happened in the past seasons of how all these seasons paved the way to this final chapter. Anyway, Harumi told Lloyd about her plans of why she needs the golden weapons of Spinjitzu. Lloyd then rebutted that the golden weapons don't have their powers anymore, and then Harumi replied that the powers inside the golden weapons have never been destroyed. Element powers inside a container cannot be destroyed but stolen, something the ninja didn't know. Before Harumi left, Lloyd told her the side of his story on the night she died, that he has never forgotten her and he still got feelings to her. In this flashback of Lloyd searching for Harumi, you can see the differences of the animation produced by two different production companies, Wolflim and Wild Brain. This is something I have always hoping to see one day, a recreation of a scene from the old animation company to sort of have this comparison between the current one and the past one. It doesn't have to be the same thing, but with different camera angles and quotes to show the perspectives of different characters in the same scene. This is why I hope to see something like this after Ninjago got itself a new animation company. Other than that, in this conversation between Lloyd and Hiromi, you can see the struggles and the dilemma of both of them. For Lloyd, it is the love of him to Hiromi and seeing her as an enemy. As for Hiromi, it is the revenge for her parents and her consciousness. Since Sons of Garmadon, Lloyd has been shown affection to Hiromi that is easy to see. But for Hiromi, it is hard to see because of the properties of her characters, that she isn't someone rotten to the core or someone heroic like the ninja. Tragic and twisted would be the description I have for her. Her story is indeed a tragedy, and how she changed since the tragedy is twisted. I mean, the reason she reaches for Garmadon or the Overlord in the first place is the fact that the ninja failed her. She didn't trust the ninja after the trauma, and she believed that darkness can do the same thing as light if light can bring peace to Ninjago. That's why I would use the word twisted to describe her. Anyway, back to the episode, Lloyd tried to unchain himself and fight Hiromi, but due to the crystal surroundings and the presence of Mr. F, Lloyd's powers got limited and he got outnumbered himself. It's very typical for the episode to end in this way. This is one of the common ways of the writers to end a Ninjago episode, so I'm not surprised of how it ends like this. Overall speaking, the description between the two characters, Hiromi and Lloyd, is very good. However, considering there are only 11 minutes for the episodes, it looks like having all three stories, the resurrection of Hiromi, how Hiromi got Fangstone, and what did Lloyd do after the building collapsed, are too packed for this episode, and which kinda makes this episode a bit rushed. Out of 10, I would give this episode a 7. And that's pretty much all I have in mind. What do you think? Do you enjoy watching this episode? Comment down below. If you have any ideas, suggestions, or problems to make, you can contact me with email, Twitter, Instagram, or simply comment down below. And see you later, alligator.